All right, so video number 3. I'm going to make this video a little bit shorter than the rest. 1, because it's a pain to upload. 2, this way you can have a video that's a little bit shorter in length. That way if you don't have a full 50 or 55 minutes to dedicate to a practice, this one hopefully will be anywhere between 30 and 40 minutes, so still kind of long, but a little bit shorter at least. And I'm going to do mostly seated postures. I think most of them are going to be different than the other 2 videos, some the same. Either way, we are going to find a comfortable seat, settling in. The only thing you will need actually is a strap, so I'm going to get one. And you have one too, so that is really helpful. So we have our strap, it's the only props we're really going to use. I'm going to get you to come to a comfortable seat, palms down on the knees, if you want to feel a bit more grounded, or up. For receptivity, close your eyes and begin breathing through the nose. Deep breaths filling the lungs, chest rises, belly button in towards spine on that exhale, forcing out all of the stale air. Our chin is slightly tucked toward chest, crown of the head is reaching up to the sky. Just taking a few moments here to really bring your mind into the present. I wanted to read a passage that I found that I thought would kind of be nice for you to hear in this quiet state. So with the eyes remaining closed and that focus still on the breath, just listen to my words. I found this in a book called The 7 Spiritual Laws of Yoga by Deepak Chopra. The postures of yoga offer tremendous benefit to your body and your mind. They help to create balance, flexibility, and strength, all essential qualities for a healthy, dynamic life. In addition to the direct benefits of performing the postures, these poses provide enduring value throughout our day. If performed regularly, you will feel more flexible, both physically and mentally, as well as emotionally. Flexibility is the essential difference between the vitality of youth and the lassitude of old age. Infinite flexibility is the secret to immortality. Like a palm tree that adapts to, rather than resists, gale force winds, a flexible body and mind enable you to adapt to the inevitable changes that life offers. So just kind of talking here about how it's not just about flexibility in the body or healing a physical body, but also healing us mentally, just allowing us to come across any challenge or any obstacle in life very calmly, in a good state of mind, not letting stress get the best of us. A few more deep breaths here in our quiet state. Exhaling and dropping your chin down the center of your chest, We've done these before. We're just going to do a few neck rolls, making sure those shoulders are down the back, away from ears. Feeling any tension you might be holding in the base of the neck or the tops of the shoulders. Inhale, you're rolling your chin along the chest. You're going to bring that right ear toward right shoulder. Feeling a nice stretch all along the left side of the neck. Exhale, move down through center. Inhaling left ear to that left shoulder. Same stretch on the right side. And then with your own breath, rolling back and forth a few times, exhaling as you move down through center. Inhale as you bring ear towards shoulder. We're just trying to warm the neck up here. Breathe through and release any tension we may be feeling. Feeling free to go as fast or as slow as you want to. And maybe you even want to slightly lift the chin as you make full circles in one direction and then the other. Dropping chin back down to the center of the chest with an inhale, bring your head up. We're going to do a few sun breaths here. So we're going to inhale, reach those fingertips out and up. Palms are going to come together at the top of our head. Spine is long. Exhale down through center. Hands in prayer. So just following your own breath and inhale as you reach out and up. Exhale as you come down. We're really reaching out from those fingertips, feeling length in the arms and a stretch in the shoulders. Inhale as you rise. Exhale as you come down. Last time. Reversing the sun breath here, we're going to inhale up through our center. Exhale as we reach out and bring those hands down with control. This will be our last one. Inhale as you bring your hands up through our center. Exhaling down. Bringing your palms back to your heart center in Anjali Mudra or prayer position. I want you to just bow your head here and think about an intention for your practice. So sometimes I ask students to set an intention to be more present throughout practice. Maybe it's just constantly keeping focus on the breath so that when you catch your mind wandering, you just simply bring it back to breath. You don't let it continue wandering on and on. So just present with your mind and your body. Or maybe you just want to set an intention to be a little more grateful within your practice. Not being hard on yourself or frustrated if you're feeling extra tight in a certain area, but just realizing your body is doing everything it can for you. Doesn't matter what other people do in their practice or how other people feel, we're all different. So just be grateful that you have the body that you do have and that you're able to go through any sort of yoga practice. Just finding an intention. Maybe it's just to be a little more patient, a little more loving, a little more calm or kind. Bringing your palms back down toward knees. We're going to do a little bit of seated rocking. So our left shoulder is going to come down toward our right knee. Head is low. Right shoulder toward left knee. So we're just making some circles with our body. Exhaling as you move down. Inhale as you come up. Trying your best to keep your sits bones grounded. Reversing the direction when you've had enough. So just going the opposite way. Full body circles, our seated rocking. If you come to a spot that feels really tight, maybe you just hang out there for a breath. Making your way back up to seated. Inhale, we're reaching fingertips out and up. Exhale, finding an easy seated forward fold here. Forehead hanging down toward the ground. Walking your fingertips out as far as they'll go, getting a nice stretch in the side body. Breathing deeply here. And from here, we're just going to walk our fingertips forward, sliding our feet back, and you'll come into a nice wide-legged child's pose. This is our wisdom pose. So your knees are about mat distance, toes together, forehead coming down toward the ground. Breathing here, following your inhale and your exhale, opening those hips up. From here, we're going to inhale, we're going to come up and find our table. We want to have a nice flat back, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. We're going to go through a little bit of cat-cow. Inhale, dropping belly down, gazes up. Exhale, rounding, tucking chin toward chest. Inviting any movements, maybe a little circle of the hips in one direction and the other. Few more times, back and forth, just really getting that spine moving. Then settling back into that neutral table. We're going to challenge our balance here. We've done this before. We're going to extend our right arm and kick back our left leg. Gazes down so you're not straining the neck. Belly button tight in toward the spine. And eventually, as your balance gets strong here, you might be able to exhale and bring your leg and your arm out to the side, balancing here. Just a variation. Bringing it back to center if you've had it out. One last breath. And release, palm and knee down. A little shake out of the hips and then moving into the other side. We're going to extend left arm and kick back the right leg. Again, keeping your gaze down so as not to strain the neck. Belly button tight in toward our spine. And maybe this is enough of a challenge, but you always have the option of exhaling, bringing the leg and the arm out toward the side. Bringing it back to center, one last breath. Exhale, release palm and knee down, hips back to heels, child's pose just for breath, giving the wrists a break. Inhale, we're going to round up through our table. We're going to lower down onto our bellies, keeping elbows close in toward our body. Feet are flat. Inhale, rise up, cobra. Exhale, releasing down. Inhale, push yourself up and back. Child's pose. Inhale, we're coming back up and we're going to find our table. I'm going to show you another variation that's so hard to not be able to actually see the student to know what you can actually do. So we're going to find our table. We're going to do the same balancing. We're going to bring out our right arm and our left leg. I'll move a little ahead so you can see me better. And you always have options of taking extra stretches here. So some people like to try to reach back for that foot. You can hold inside or outside, whatever is easiest for you. And maybe you just want to pull that heel in toward your glute. It brings a really nice stretch into the quad. Maybe you'll feel it a little in the left hip. Or you can kick your foot back into your hand and kind of bring the stretch into the chest and the shoulder on the right side. This is just an option. Maybe you're not here today, but it's always something to work toward. Releasing down. Coming into the opposite side. So you first just get there with that balance, extending the left arm and the right leg. And maybe this is just where you are for now. But you always have the option of trying to reach back for that foot. Either pulling heel in towards that glute. This is my favorite. Really nice stretch in the quad. Or kicking that foot into the hand, kicking that foot out and bringing that stretch into the shoulder and the chest on the left side. Exhale, releasing back down. The next pose we're going to do is called thread the needle. So we're going to do the right side first. You stay in your tabletop. With an inhale, you extend the right arm high toward the sky. Exhale, you're threading the right hand behind the left, and you're coming down onto that right shoulder. Head rests. So the whole point here is just to really stretch out this right shoulder. So getting here, this might be enough for you. I'm going to show some variations just in case as this video gets older you get a little bored with doing the same thing. You can inhale, extend the left arm up. That way you're opening the chest a little more. It's all about opening the chest out to the side. And maybe you can even take your hand down the low back. I don't know if you can see it in the video, but my fingers are coming for that right leg. Just kind of making a little bind. If not, you can just rest the hand on the low back. And you can also bring that foot out to the side. people like to play with balance here as well, trying to lift this foot up, completely balancing on the right side of the body. Or just keeping the foot down, or keeping the knee back in line with the hip. You might even just still be back here, and that's fine, or just stretching out that shoulder. If the leg is extended, bring it back in line with the hip. Releasing any bind, bring the left hand back down to the mat, and with an inhale, you're just going to push yourself up, back to that table. Coming in to thread the needle on the opposite side. We're going to inhale, extend our left arm high. Exhale, we're threading it behind the right, coming down onto that shoulder. So many options here, staying like this. Inhaling the right arm up, bringing it behind the low back. Eventually reaching for that thigh. Just trying to rotate the chest open to the side. Maybe you bring that leg out. Maybe it stays on the ground. Just getting a feel for what it's like to be putting weight on the left side of the body. And whenever you want, playing with lifting, a lot of people kind of roll over. So if you try this and you kind of roll over like this, whatever, just come back into it. People do it all the time and they just laugh at themselves, so that's a good thing. If you have your leg extended, bring it back in line with the hip, releasing any bind. Planting the right hand down, pushing yourself back up to that table. Hips back to heels, child's pose. From here, we're going to inhale, we're going to come up onto our knees, and we're going to do a little bit of kneeling side stretching. So we're going to take that left leg out to the side, planting the foot, toes are coming forward. Inhale, we're going to reach the right arm up. As we travel down the left leg, we want the shoulder blades together on the back. We don't want to kind of round forward like this. It's also about opening the chest up, and you'll feel that stretch in the right side body. Inhale, rise up. We're going to plant the right hand down, same thing on this side. Chest is open, stretching the left side of the body. So I want you to flow back and forth a few times with your breath. Inhale, bring yourself up. Exhale, side stretch. Stay here as long as you want. Breathing. But when you're ready to move, you rise up on an inhale, down on an exhale. Just a few times back and forth, reaching out from those fingertips, stretching that side body. And inhale, rise up, make our way back to kneeling. We're going to bring that left knee back under the hip, extending out that right leg. Again, the foot is planted, toes are forward. Same thing, inhale, reach the left arm up, exhaling, side stretch. Just reaching out, that chest is open, shoulder blades coming together on the back. Inhaling up, exhale, reaching. And then you know where we're going, just flowing back and forth with your own breath. Inhaling as you rise, exhaling as you fall. Going as fast or as slow as you want. If you feel really good in one spot, definitely stay there. Last time. Inhale and rise. Exhale. Coming to that side stretch. Reaching out from the fingertips. Inhale, bring yourself up. Back under. Hips back to heels. Forehead's gonna rest. Child's pose. Using the hands to bring yourself up. We're going to come on to our bottoms. I'm going to go sideways so you can see me a little better. Coming into our forward fold, we're going to ground our sits bones, removing any flesh, toes back toward the face. Inhale, we're rising our hands up. Exhale, we hinge at the hips, and we're just folding, but we want to keep a straight back. So the whole time, your shoulders are trying to come back together so our chest is open. So many people, and I am one of them, start to fold, and as you can see, I get that really big roundness in my back. It's definitely not good for the spine. So today we're just going to fold to where we have a nice straight back. Wherever you're holding is fine. You'll still feel it in the hamstrings if those toes come back toward the face. Deep breaths. Inhale. We're coming back up. We're going to plant our hands, point our toes. Inhale. We're going to rise the hips up. Find that reverse plank. Toes are coming down toward the ground. Gaze is up. Chin can be tucked. If it feels good in the neck, you can gaze back, but I always just gaze up. Exhale, releasing down, chin tucked toward chest. Inhale. Exhale and fold. Just folding to where you don't have such a huge rounding of the back. Trying to keep that chest open. Just feeling a gentle stretch in the hamstrings, the calves. Inhale up. Last time, planting the hands, pointing the toes. Inhale, you rise to your reverse plank. Hips are high. Tucking chin to chest. Exhale. Lowering down. Coming into a forward fold twist here. So again, sits bones are grounded. We're going to just take our left hand to wherever is most comfortable. Right hand can come beside the hip. Just kind of gently folding, but not too extreme. So we're gently twisting our body. You can use the right hand to kind of help twist you over. Maybe you even want to extend the arm back. Feeling a gentle twisting in the back. Inhale, you come forward. You're going to grab the opposite side, so grab somewhere on the left, whether it's the shin, the foot. Extend the left arm back. Inhale, coming forward. One more time each side. Exhale. Inhale, bringing the arm forward, crossing the body. Exhale, open up. And inhale. Inhale, come forward. We're going to bring our legs out wide this time. Finding a wide forward fold that's comfortable for you, maybe pushing yourself in just a little deeper. Just a gentle folding in the center, just kind of opening up the hips, the inner thighs, gaze is down. Inhale up. We're going to come into the same kind of twisting motion here. I'll do it from the side so you can see me a little better. Bringing our right hand out beside our hip, grabbing somewhere wherever it is for you, whether it's here, here, or the foot. Just kind of twisting your body back. You can keep your hand planted. Or maybe you want to do the same kind of reach back, feeling a nice twist, stretching the back. Shoulders are away from the ears. Inhale, release, come forward. Exhale, you're twisting in the other direction so that right hand finds its way to left leg, left hand behind the hip. You're twisting yourself back. Maybe you're reaching back. Inhale, coming forward. Exhale, folding one last time. Trying to keep that chest open. We're trying to keep length in our spine. And then inhale, rising yourself back up. Bringing the legs together. We're going to make our way onto our backs. Bringing your strap with you. Actually, just kidding. I had a few more things planned for seated. So finding your way to seated, we're going to find our diamond pose. So for you, you have probably looser hips than I do. So this might be easy. For you, anything that involves the hip flexors, super difficult for me. I am so tight in the hips, it's insane. We're going to bring the soles of the feet together. And we're going to keep a nice distance between pelvic floor and heels. Grabbing onto the shins, inhale, the chest opens. Exhale, you're going to start walking your hands down towards your feet. And you're just going to fall into that space between the legs. Again, we're trying to keep a nice straight spine, so you don't want to round yourself in. Just keeping that chest open. Going to end up being way more than 55 minutes. Inhale, rise up. Keeping the soles of the feet together, we're going to bring them in close to the body. So we're going to come into our butterfly or our bound angle, making a little cradle with the hands for the feet. Inhale, you're lengthening by puffing the chest. Exhale, we're folding by hinging at the hips. So you have two options. You can use your elbows to gently open those legs up, kind of pushing into the legs, opening them, or just let the forearms hang out in front of the shins. Head hangs heavy, breathing into those hips. Just staying here for a few breaths. Not bad, 35 minutes. So we're in our bound angle. Hips are opening. Inhale, we're rising up. Using our hands to bring our knees together. And now we're going to make our way onto our backs. Bringing the strap on the right side. We're going to bring the right knee in, hug it into the chest, just doing a little bit of limbering up here, giving it a nice hug, getting into that hip. I don't know if we've done Happy Baby yet. You have options here. You can grab the outside of the foot. I don't know if you can see me well here. You're kind of pulling your foot down. You can also grab inside the foot or wrap your peace fingers around the big toes. Just kind of getting into that hip and that hamstring. And when you're ready, reaching for the strap, we're going to wrap it around the ball of the right foot. Inhale, you extend that leg high. You might have a slight bend in the knee if the hamstrings are tight. As long as you feel a gentle stretch, you're fine. Usually the toes come down toward the face, the heels pushing up to the sky. And you can just gently bend the elbows, tugging on the strap, just kind of opening up and stretching the back of the leg. For time's sake, I'm not going to stay here for too long, but now that you have a strap and you know some good hamstring stretches, you can always just do this on your own. From here, we're going to take both ends of the strap in our right hand. Exhale. We're going to bring that leg out to the side, just to where it's comfortable for you. We're feeling a stretch in the hip flexor, that inner thigh. Trying to keep, usually I keep my left hand on my left hip just to try to keep it grounded down. Inhale, rise up. At first, you're just going to allow the leg to cross the body just to where the foot is above the hip. So not all the way across, but just to where it's a little outside of the hip or right above the hip, and you should feel it in the IT band. Toes again are coming back toward your face, that heel is pushing up to the sky. And then we're going to do a spinal twist here. So this hip starts to rise up as you exhale and allow that leg to cross the body. Again, you're trying to keep this shoulder, the right shoulder, on the mat. You can gaze up toward the leg or away from the leg. Inhale. Rise that leg back up. Slight bend in the knee to release the strap, and then slowly release the leg down. Taking notice of the difference between one leg and the other. So we're going to do the same thing to the other side. We're going to bring knee in, give it a nice squeeze. Feel free to take Happy Baby here on that left side. So either grabbing knife edge of the foot, peace fingers around the big toe, or grabbing the inside, and you're just kind of opening the hip up, that hamstring. Hand is pulling the foot down, foot kicking into the hand. This hand making sure you're keeping that opposite hip rooted. Again, you can stay here as long as you want. For time's sake, I'm going to move to where we wrap the strap around the ball of the left foot and do the same thing on this side. Just gently pulling it in. Stretching and lengthening the back of the leg. both ends of the strap in the left hand. Exhale, you bring that leg out to the side, keeping that hip grounded. Opening up the inner thigh. Inhale, when you're ready, rise the leg up. Straps into the right hand, and first just allowing it to cross the body just a small bit. The foot is either above the right hip or just outside of it, and you're feeling that stretch in the IT band. Exhale. You're going to allow that foot to cross the body. Hip rises, but that shoulder stays planted. Gentle spinal twist here. Inhale, rise the leg up. And the knee to release the strap. Feel free to take half happy baby before we close out the practice. This will probably be good for you if you have loose hips. Me, again, tight hamstrings and tight hips. I swear they're never going to go away. So this one is not my favorite pose. And for our closing, rather than the basic Shavasana, if you have a piece of wall that you can use, maybe you bring a blanket for underneath the body. And I'm going to show you a really nice way to end the practice. I'm just going to turn this way. So what you want to do is scoot your hips up beside the wall. And you're going to come down and your legs are going to go up the wall. So again, bring a blanket. It's a little more comfortable to have under your body. And just take Shavasana like this. This is legs up the wall. It's used a lot in restorative yoga. It's just really nice to reverse the effects of gravity. Since we're always seated or we're always standing, fluid begins to pool down in our legs. So this really helps to allow all of the fluid to return back down to the heart. It also helps to lower blood pressure. So feel free to settle in to your Shavasana with legs up the wall. It might be cool to try. And if not, just lay down and take a few deep breaths and go through your Shavasana. Remembering your intention that you set at the beginning of practice, and just knowing that you can take that off of the mat and into your daily life, whether it's being more present, more patient, more grateful. Love you a whole bunch.